Dice out. Now. Game! Greetings, dear listeners, and welcome to our podcast. My name is Chich, and I'll be your DM for the night, and the players with me tonight are Jan.
Hello!
Dia.
I'm confused!
You're right. I fucked up. Cora.
Hello.
And Richard.
Hello.
So, a peek behind the DM screen, we record these episodes in twos, and it just so happened that today I had to be at work. I work at a blood bank, and, we have to be careful of the vampire mafia, so we didn't have any problems with them yet. However, for some reason I can't remember what happened in the last hour or so can anybody remind me?
Well, with the threat gone, we decided to start looking around a bit more. We noticed that the chandelier has 8 suns hanging off it. Then we decide, before moving on to have a proper look around, to take a rest to recuperate. Kasny gives Dekla the holy symbol that he found, and Dawn wanders off against the advice of Kasny. While investigating the next room, he calls Kasny through, but a trap on the threshold that had not affected Dawn pushes him back, and he has to push to get through. Inside the room are tables for studying and alcoves full of dusty scrolls. Dawn continues on, but as Kasny has trouble getting through the next trap, he pretends he wants to stay behind. Dawn finds a kitchen, and after that, a dining room full of mysteriously fresh and delicious-looking food. He spears an apple and returns to Kasny. While he was gone, Kasny found several references to the worship of Pelor, and as he's unfamiliar with this name, he makes the leap that it is one of the old gods, and that perhaps this temple might be older than we thought. Kasny also finds a reference to a prophecy about a sunset, which none of us remembered was also mentioned on the front door, and a false back on an alcove, but he fails to open it. Dawn returns and offers more insight, as he seems to remember that Pelor is related to agriculture. Dawn then uses his mage hand to lever the false back open with his dagger. He finds 3 scrolls in ivory cases, and we return to the others. Dawn struggles slightly when going through the trap door, and Kasny passes with ease. The pair head outside and tell Dekla what they found. Darren takes the apple using his mage hand and takes a bite.
As Dawn says, "Don't bite that!" Oh.
Well, that sounds like a really shitty cliffhanger. Who thought of that?
Oh, delicious!
It's alright, we already know this place uses poison.
Yeah, no, it is delicious, and Darren, I need you to roll me a Constitution save. Not really, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
It's fine and perfect and lovely food and makes you feel great.
So, yeah, Dawn jumps at Darren to yell at him to don't eat that, but it's too late. Darren already bit the apple.
Yeah, like I said, the minute Darren bites the apple, Dawn just starts studying him with interest.
Yeah, so Darren, you see Dawn staring at you for some reason.
I keep eating.
Kasny's also watching.
I stare back. I make eye contact. I thought that Dawn was just gonna have the apple for himself. So I'm having a smug look on my face, because I got it.
Yeah, you two enter a bit of a staring contest.
Dawn takes out a small notebook and starts writing in it while locking eyes with Darren.
Darren is convinced that Dawn is writing a sad poem about not being able to eat this apple.
So yeah, Darren's eating apples. He's eating the apple, and Dawn and Kasny are staring at him. What is Dekla doing?
Watching this?
Yeah, we're all just watching, fascinatedly.
Why are you all watching me?
Darren, did you see us with any apples before we went into the temple?
I mean, I assume Dekla brought one.
Nope, you are eating probably a 1,000-year-old apple.
Probably.
Tastes fresh.
Dekla, if this apple was 1,000 years old, it wouldn't be here anymore. It would have been completely rotted away.
I mean, there's some great soup and a nice bit of pork in there as well if you want something to add to the flavour.
Where?
In the temple.
Darren walks into the temple.
Okay, do you just break for the dining room, or...
Sure.
Okay,
Did Declan and Darren manage to get the short rest?
yeah, you got the short rest. Like, I don't know if that does anything for you, spell-wise, but,
Not spellbound. I think Darren gets sorcerer points,
No,
so you could...
not yet.
Oh, no? Okay.
Okay, so, would you even know where to go? Is the first thing.
No.
Did Dawn say that he's checking out the basement when he left us? I think he did, didn't he?
No.
No, Dawn just wandered off.
Okay, I look behind me and yell, "Where?"
If you're gonna eat it, I'm not gonna tell you.
Of course I'm gonna eat it. I'm hungry. I just had a nice nap. I want to regain some of my strength.
1,000-year-old temple. Why would any fresh food in here be a good thing to eat?
It's full of undead. Undead don't classically eat food.
I mean, and I wave the apple stem, the apple core. I mean, this was pretty good.
I mean, it could just be, like, magically preserved food.
It could be a delayed reaction. Let's wait half an hour and see if he dies.
I mean, you're not wrong, it could be, but I'm starting to wonder if it might not just be food.
Do I look sick?
Poisons don't always act immediately.
Well, I feel fine.
Yeah, no, you feel fine. You finally got some vitamin in you. If you feel amazing, actually.
We'll just wait a few minutes, and if your skin starts falling off.
Well, we need to have a look at these scrolls anyway, so how about we wait 15 minutes and then go back inside?
That sounds like an excellent plan.
Fine.
Alright, Decla, if you would, and Dawn takes off the scroll cases and hands them to her.
Okay, I'll have a look.
Shall we try and get into the next room so we can use the tables, or should we just stay out here? It'll probably be easier to stay out here. There's something weird about the doorway.
Well, I mean, we're in the atrium with the pit in the floor.
Oh yes, we are, aren't we? There's
I thought you were outside. Outside next to the pool with a dead snake.
Oh yeah, sorry, no, we'd gone outside. When Dawn hands the scroll cases to Decla, he'll say, "We should probably look at these inside. For the impact of nature is probably not the best thing for these."
Okay, so you go back into the room. It's called a scriptorium, but I don't want to say that because it's a weird word.
Scriptorium! It's a great word.
It's a temple-y word.
It is certainly a temple-y word.
The marvellous scriptorium!
It's the scrollerarium.
So yeah, do you want to go back to the scriptorium?
Wherever you want to take me.
Just be careful if you go through the door. There's some weird traps on some of these doors, and...
It's not so much a trap, it's more of some sort of...
barrier.
Yeah, barrier.
Just don't go running full force through the doorways because you might bounce. I did, and it was
Amusing.
mildly uncomfortable.
Dawn just grins widely.
You didn't seem to find it so amusing when you couldn't find your way back out when we were returning to them earlier.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course you don't, because you always instantly forget everything that happens to you that isn't narratively convenient for your story. I say vaguely meta-y, but it does make sense in context, so it's fine.
Okay, yeah, so who's going back to the room? Just Decla or...
Probably all of us.
If Decla's going, I'm going.
Yeah.
Just don't run through the door, just carefully approach the door and step through very slowly, otherwise you could be bounced out.
Everybody who's going to the room, roll me a charisma check.
Do I still get advantage because I know it's there? And I do it slowly?
Okay, we've set a precedent, so I guess. However, Decla, you prepare yourself for, trouble entering, but you don't actually feel any resistance as you enter the room.
Ah! A worshipper. I don't say because I don't know this has happened.
Well, I mean, out of character, I think it's the anger.
It could be. I just assumed it was because you were a worshipper of a sort of resonating saint. I rolled a 19 plus 1, so a dirty 20.
Cassie, you passed through.
16 for Dawn.
Dawn, you passed through.
18 for Darren.
18 for Darren. Yeah, you all passed through. Like, the three boys, you feel sort of resistance, but you're aware it's gonna be there, so you push through it, and yeah, you entered the scriptorium. You're in the room now. You look at the scrolls. You can see there are the 3 scrolls there. There's 2 scrolls contain the spell Bless, and 1 scroll contains the spell Lesser Restoration.
Who knows that? How do we know that?
How do we know that?
Well, on the top of the scroll is written Bless, On 2 of the scrolls it's written bless and then instructions on casting, and then on 1 of the scrolls it's written lesser restoration and instructions for casting.
Oh, so it's also in the current language.
I mean, it's like the old dialect. I don't know how, you know what I mean,
Yeah. Like Middle English, for example, instead of modern English.
Ye olde blessy.
For example, except it's not English, it's common and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
In any case, you can read it even though it's like, old dialect. And yeah, it's 2 blesses and 1 lesser restoration.
What kind of check would it be to know if the lesser restoration could possibly help the poison?
Oh, no, it can't, because
Haven't we tried that?
I don't know if but we did discover that it was very specific.
Okay.
Only a specific antidote or a remove curse spell will heal him. I tried healing word, not lesser restoration, but I do have lesser restoration, so I could have potentially tried that. But yeah.
Like, I don't know if we mentioned that, but I think it will require basic restoration.
Greater restoration.
Not greater, but lesser won't work. It needs to be 1 higher.
Okay.
Yes, lesser restoration is for, like, status situations, like...
I think it also includes poison and disease there. But this is a curse rather than either of those.
Well, if that apple is about to kill me, then you can use it on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darren, you actually feel some rumbling in your tummy.
What kind of rumble is it? Is it a I'm hungry rumble, or don't feel so great rumble, or...
It's I need to find a toilet now!
Yeah, kind of like that.
You're not used to fruit and it passes straight through you.
I need to take a big old dump rumble.
A dump rumble? What the fuck is wrong with you?
You never had a dump rumble?
No.
I ignore it for now.
Okay.
Don't think much of it.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, Darren's like a hardcore alcoholic. He must have a stomach of iron.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you've now discovered what the scrolls do, so how do you proceed from there? What does Dekla think of this whole situation?
Of the scrolls, I think they are more Kasnu's thing. Of the temple, Dekla still wants to investigate the place. Doesn't really know what is up with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Are both Dekla and Darren feeling a bit more themselves at this stage?
Yes.
Well, if you guys are feeling better, shall we have a look-see?
Cool, so where do you proceed now?
I've checked this floor. If you continue going through this room, and Dawn points to the other side and the doorway there's a corridor where I found the dining room. And then there's also stairs going up to the top floor, up to the floor above us and down to what I assume is the basement.
Okay. Where to?
I personally think we should head up, but if people want to investigate down, then I'm happy to follow that.
How am I feeling right now?
In regards to what?
In regards to his need to poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's still rumbling, and it's... Actually, all of you can hear the rumble.
Can hear the rumble. Dear God.
That's loud.
Are you okay, Darren?
So I was trying to eat some more of that food, but maybe that's not the best idea. Could you excuse me for a second? And Darren will leave the temple, but on his way out, grab a couple of scrolls.
God, don't...
Careful, they don't dissolve to dust.
Yeah, no, the one you grabbed dissolves too.
I will try to find some robust-looking ones.
Okay, yeah, so Darren leaves the scene.
Dawn just shakes his head and goes, I told him that apple was a bad idea.
We should probably make sure he's okay.
Did he need to go get a charisma check to get through the doorway?
Oh, if he can't get out the room and just it gets worse and worse.
Oh,
I was gonna hand wave that.
I got an 18.
Yeah, yeah, no, this is more important. You just push through the barrier.
did you go all the way outside?
Yeah, I go back into the woods. I mean, still adjacent to the temple, of course. I'll be right back.
Okay, so that happens.
Dawn will show them both the room with all the fresh food in it.
Yeah, no, it smells delicious in here. On the opposite side of the corridor from the room with the food and the table, there's another door. It leads back into the room with the staircase. As you step from it, you see to your left there's another door leading out of the room. It goes under the staircase.
Dawn wanders down and again opens the door with mage hand, etc.
Does anyone follow him?
I carefully watch out for where there is or is not dust on the floor.
Yeah, like you're aware of the trap now. You're like, okay, so the three of you all step through the door and you step on what once must have been like a charming sun-kissed veranda, but it's now overgrown with vines and briars. And you see along the edge of the veranda there's 7 statues, each depicting a different person. Most noticeably, one of them has 8 arms. There's 2 short flights of stairs that lead down into the woods, and there's a small animal skeleton next to one of the statues at the south end of the veranda.
Does this look more like the front entrance as opposed to where we came in, or is it like a side part?
No, it looks like a side door.
Okay.
As you open the door, you hear a loud click,
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
but nothing seems to happen.
Is there a small needle on the outside of the door?
No.
Okay, Dawn immediately starts searching for what could have made that click.
Around the door frame and the like.
Yeah, pressure plates in the floors, etc.
Roll me investigation.
Investigation. That is 13 plus 5 is 18.
Yeah, up on the ceiling you see a small latch. It looks like something would have shot out of it.
Dawn shakes his head and mutters to himself, careless, careless. And then he goes to look at the statues
Okay.
and see if the animal carcass has a needle in it.
Ah, that is also worth looking for.
Okay, you go, which statue you go to check out? There's 7 of them.
He will start at the closest one and work his way along.
Okay, so, you go up to the statue, and I'm gonna need you to roll me a dexterity check.
Dex. 12 plus 5 is 17.
Yeah, as you approach the statue, a wicked scythe lashes out from the base, but you notice it just in time and you jump up above it.
Dawn will tumble backwards from the statue and come back up onto his feet. Let's go, whoo!
Yeah, the statue is actually one... Actually, roll me a history for this.
13 plus 3.
Actually, all of you can roll me a history.
16.
This be fun.
I do not history.
Wow. Okay.
History and or religion.
I rolled a natural 19 for a 20,
Yeah.
if I can use religion.
Well, I rolled a 3, which is 3 if it's history or 5 if it's religion, so I don't think that helps.
Nah. Dawn?
I roll 16.
The statue that the scythe just lashed out of seems to depict a man holding a spear and an apple. Declan, as you look around, you recognize some of these, like, the images are familiar to you somehow, and you're not exactly sure, but, like, you've attended a few lessons at the temple when you were training, and there was a mention of the old gods. And you seem to think, wait, if this is the temple of an old god, this must be the old gods. And as you look around, the 2 of you, Dawn and Declan, you actually recognize one of the statues is of the same one that you discovered on your archaeology trip.
Oh, the hunter?
Hmm?
The hunter god.
Yeah, the woman with raised arms and her tits out.
Dawn slats his eyes over to Declan and says, does that look familiar to you?
And Declan, you also seem to recognize the one with the 8 arms from just a few days ago, actually. It was carved into a tree.
Oh, there we go.
At this exact moment, Darren walks back in with a piece of scroll stuck to his shoe.
Oh god, you wiped your ass with an ancient scroll.
Yes, he did.
And he says, "What are you looking at?" And then he looks at that.
Yeah, no, you clock it in immediately. Like, your eyes are immediately on their own drawn to the one with the 8 arms.
I walk towards it slowly. Do I feel like the same kind of pull I did last time?
There is a pull, but it's not the same type. It's not like... It's more of a familiarity than a pull.
Okay. Yeah, I slowly walk towards the statue. I don't touch it, but I study it very closely.
Well, as you come within a meter of it, roll me a dexterity check.
Wait!
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Actually, the 2 of you roll me initiative. So basically make dex checks to see which one of you reacts. If Dawn can react in time to
12.
Oof, that's not good. That's a 4.
Yeah, Darren, you begin to approach the statue with the 8 arms, and Dawn just jumps up, steps in front of you, pulls you back.
Dawn would just grab him by the back of the neck and just be like, nope.
Yeah, this time, like, even if he just yells, I would this time react and stop.
Yeah, so you actually do manage to come within range to trigger the trap, but Dawn pulls you back in time, so it misses you by like a centimeter.
Okay, Darren clearly very startled. What was that?
A trap. Or maybe a way of getting sacrifices, I don't know. But maybe listen to me next time, hey?
I'm sorry, I feel I've seen this thing before, carved in a tree. And I feel this almost like a connection to it. I don't know what it is. The last time I saw it, it seemed harmless. It has something to do with that drug, with that lavender dust, I think. I don't know how or why, but there's something really strange about this.
A god that has something to do with drugs.
Churchill, Dawn doesn't have any idea who the 8-armed statue is, does he?
Roll me a history or a religion, because you are an archaeologist. You studied this.
19 for my history.
You can't remember the name, but there was a god of magic that was described as having 8 arms. You've never seen a depiction of it in your research, but there was a description, and you remembered it because 8 arms, that's weird.
Yeah, that is true.
That's a magic number.
Dawn simply goes, well, perhaps Declan can give a bit more information. I can't for the life of me remember the name of it, but in the old pantheon there was a god of magic, and maybe that's what is attracting you? I'm pretty sure this is the one.
God of magic. Oh.
It's described as having 8 arms, but I've only read about it in texts.
God of magic, that would explain why I feel drawn to it, I guess, but why? And why the drugs? I mean, I don't know if this is the same thing, but when I saw it in the woods and I touched it, it had the lavender dust all over it. It was a very strange experience.
Maybe lavender dust is a byproduct of it somehow? Dawn says, then sort of trails off at the end like he's not really convinced himself.
I'm not the only one who feels this way. I remember Hermann having the same kind of reaction to it, although he didn't come with me to the tree.
What do we know about Hammond and his sorceress niche?
Only really that he's a sorcerer, I think.
Yeah, but do the rest of us know that?
I think so. Didn't we see him?
Yes, we do, because we've seen him like fall over and have butterflies around him, I think.
Oh yeah, we were all there for that one, not the other one.
Yeah.
That's why I was making sure.
Yeah, that happened yesterday.
Well, maybe this god has something connecting them to your kind of magic.
Real quick, what kind of trap did go off when I came close to the statue? Because I don't think I was paying attention when you described that earlier.
A scythe flashed out from the base of the statue.
Okay, so is it disarmed now? Does it look like it went off and now it's harmless to...
Yeah, it's still out, so you're thinking it didn't reset.
Okay, in that case, I would very carefully get closer to the statue, reach out...
No, Dawn will stop him again because it triggered for Dawn and it triggered for Darren, so there must be another one in there.
No, you triggered a different statue.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you triggered one of a man with a spear and an apple.
Oh, yes, of course, sorry. No, my bad.
Just to be sure, would it be... Is there like a skill to check for traps? Would it just be like investigation or something?
Yeah, it would be investigation.
Okay, yeah, I want to roll investigation, which is a 10. Just check the statue if there's anything more.
Yeah, no, there's nothing more in this statue.
Okay. In that case, I will slowly and very carefully reach out my right hand and touch the statue with the tip of my middle finger. Very lightly.
You don't feel anything happening?
If I don't feel anything, then I will take a step closer and touch her with the palm of my hand.
Still nothing.
Do you feel anything?
Well, I'm at a loss. I don't know too much about gods or anything, really.
How many statues are there?
7.
7.
Is there one that looks like Bernard?
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Is there one with symbols of suns and or corn and or agricultural things?
I'm just gonna describe them for you. So there's one of a woman in a fur coat with a hood on, and long hair radiates from under the hood. That's the northernmost one. The way Veranda said it looks out towards the east, and at the edge of it, the statues are set. So, the northernmost one is a woman in a fur coat. Then the next one is actually the woman with the 8 arms. Then you have the one that Dawn and Declan recognize as the goddess of the hunt, with her arms raised, bow and quiver across her torso, and her tits out. Then the next one is the one holding a spear and an apple. The man holding spear and apple. Then the next one seems to be just a beefcake dude who's holding up a tree. Then the next one is, you're not too sure, like every time you look at them it seems different. Like sometimes they seem more masculine, sometimes they seem more feminine, sometimes you can't really tell. But they're holding a cup in each hand and they're pouring out something into a bowl in front of them. Like, there's no actual liquid, just like carved to look as it. And the last one seems to be a woman, except it doesn't have human head, has raven's head. She's the furthest south. Also, side note, I do realize that the 2 gods we named so far, the classic D&D gods, those are the only 2.
Okay.
Just out of game, I'm telling you this, because
Kasni's brain is so full of names of saints that he cannot remember any gods.
And Dekla is not very smart and did not pay attention in classes very much anyway, so...
And Dawn's a foreigner.
And Darren doesn't give a shit about religion.
the thing is, Dawn studies this, he's an archaeologist, so even though he's a foreigner out of all of you, he probably has the most idea what's going on.
Spoilers, he doesn't. Right. He's still very confused about this lavender dust deal, though.
Yeah.
Is there anything else out here other than the statues?
There's a skeleton, there's an animal skeleton next to the Melora one, and the trap seems to be already triggered.
Did we establish whether or not the animal statue might have been killed? The animal...
The statue killed the animal.
Oh yeah, the statue killed the animal.
Yeah, you're thinking that's probably what happened?
From what Dawn has read, were there 8 main gods?
Roll me history.
Dear, I really like these dice. They haven't rolled much below a 10 ever. That's 18. Sorry, 19.
You start thinking for a little bit, and you start counting through them, and yeah. As far as you can tell, there were 8. There were 8, yeah.
Dawn would say, it seems that these are the faces and depictions of the 8 main gods from the old...
But there are only 7 of them.
Oh, there were only 7.
No, yes, there are only 7 of them, but...
7 statues plus the temple.
We don't think that any of these are Palor. Did it refer to Palor as male or female as male, were in the scrolls I read?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, yes, it said that Palor was male, which only means that he can be either this... If he was one of these, it would mean he would have to be the beefy man with the tree, the man with the spear, or this one over here that I can't tell, really?
I mean, it's quite possible that if the temple is dedicated to Palor, then the 7 statues out here are merely the tribute to the rest of the pantheon.
Like I said, I don't think that Palor is any of these 2 men or this unknown... gender fluid, or perhaps non-binary one here.
Seems to change whenever you look at them. It's amazing.
That's why I'm thinking gender fluid specifically rather than just non-binary.
It's pretty amazing artwork, to be honest. I would love to bring a field trip here.
I assume some magic has gone into this. Either that or it's just incredibly good carving, but to me it looks like it might be magical.
I mean, you could waste a detect magic on it.
I do not have detect magic. If I can have it, it's not prepared today.
Yeah. Oh, and the statues, they all seem to be made of different stone, actually.
Maybe they have some sort of relevance.
It's the woman with the raven's head made out of a black material.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I thought so. It's the woman with the fur coat made out of a light material.
No, it's kind of reddish, actually.
Interesting, because I thought she might be with the fur coat and a hood, perhaps to do with winter. But maybe not.
What color is the god of the 8 arms, the god of magic?
Sort of whitish stone.
Okay, so kind of marble-like?
No, actually, the man with the spear and...
It can't be limestone, because it would have gone by now if it was limestone.
Well, so with the food.
That's true, and clearly there's magic involved in here somewhere. These statues... Did the statues themselves move, or did just traps trigger out of them?
The traps trigger out of the base.
I don't think there's anything else for us to see here. We kind of know what's going on, and if we poke around more, we'll just get shot with some arrows.
This is very fascinating, though.
Yeah.
I expect, since I have only just found out that Dawn is an archaeologist...
In training.
Are you? Have you not... Are you a student?
Sometimes.
That surprises me somewhat.
I expect he's the kind of student who prefers to working. But then all students are a bit like that, aren't they?
I see we're back to judging people by their appearance.
No, this is by your actions.
I have met scholarly types who do enjoy learning and studying, but I can't say I haven't met alternatives.
I mean, Declan, you met me on a school field trip.
Yes, but didn't you take your friend Frog with you to a wedding and get drunk?
And you didn't get drunk?
What time of year is it?
Sort of spring, summer. It's like a few weeks before the summer solstice.
Is this your spring break?
Oh good, he's got a fucking tattoo.
Or are you doing a gap year?
Dawn, we should try and see if there's a souvenir shop around here, so maybe we can buy you a shirt that says, I went on spring break and all I saw were these stupid statues or something.
We could, and I could push you very close to one of these statues. Shall we get a move on?
Yes.
Okay.
With nothing left out here, we turn around and go back inside while everyone talks about Dawn. Dawn shows everybody the room with all the food, and then takes them through to where the stairs are going up and down.
Yeah, in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'd be interested to see what's below us.
The magic we were seeing was coming from upstairs.
Yes, but we'll have to go one way and then another way. Now, as we were upstairs, and from there was at least one more upstairs, I think it would probably be a good idea to explore downstairs first. I mean, there could be more than one basement level, we don't know, but we ought to get to one end before we extend our way to the other, if you know what I mean. If we go up from here, we'll only have to go back down later if we want to explore the whole place. So I say we go down first.
Fair. I mean, one's as good as the other.
If there's a temple to the sun god, I suspect there's not going to be a vast amount of basement levels. Just seems counterintuitive to me.
I mean, there might be a crypt.
I suppose.
Come on, let's go downstairs.
Well, carefully, because if it is a crypt, we may be seeing more of our lovely, now headless friends.
Kasny reactivates his ring of light as we go down the stairs.
Dawn goes first to check for traps and stuff.
Yeah, you descend down the stairs, and... So the ceilings in the temple area that you've been to so far have been like 6 meters tall. So it's a tall building, but as you walk down, the ceilings in the basement are only 3 meters tall, and there's this dank smell to it. There's a lot of mold in the air, and it's not very pleasant.
I'm going to cast resistance on Dawn.
Ah, thank you.
Because you're going first, so...
Yeah, you come down the stairs into a room full of boxes piled high in the corners and all through the room. It seems to be like a storage cellar, and you see there's a door that leads to the south, and it's covered by an iron portcullis with a winch next to it.
Oh. What's in the boxes? Is it going to be a god's head or something?
I don't know.
Dawn checks the boxes.
Yeah, okay, you open the boxes. It's easy enough to open it up. There's various white robes in there. You find some tools for stoneworking. There's some kegs in there. There seems to be cider in them, but by the smell of it, it's probably vinegar by now.
Someone check to see if the winch is not rusted shut. Hopefully we can get through and explore a bit more.
Okay. Have a look.
Roll me perception. Or would it be investigation? Either.
14 with 15 minus 1.
14. So, yeah, there is some rust to it, but you think it probably still works.
I say, probably fine.
Well, if someone would like to do the honours, Dawn says distractedly as he's rummaging through boxes.
Yeah, me.
Okay.
Right, I will cast resistance on you then.
Yeah, Darren, you turn the winch.
I turn the winch.
Roll me a dexterity save.
Oh boy. It's a 7.
It's 7.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, Declan is also standing right next to the door. You roll me a dex save.
Okay, Darren, you have a plus 1d4
To what?
to your save,
Oh, okay.
because that's what resistance does. Oh, great. I rolled a natural 1.
It's plus 3, so it's a 10 total.
Okay, it's a 10, because you're out there. Cassidy, where are you standing? Are you hanging out by the crates with Dawn, or are you with these two trying to open the door?
I suppose I would probably be investigating the crates.
You also inspect the boxes. There's lots of spare white robes and blankets and tools for stoneworking and stuff like that. Anyway, Darren and Declan, you were standing right next to the door when Darren turns the winch, and a trapdoor opens under you, and before you have a chance to react, you fall into the pit below, and you take 5 damage.
5, okay.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a low pit. It's like 2 meters deep. Climb out of it if you want. But yeah, you fall down, you land.
There's nothing else down here, is it?
There doesn't seem to be anything interesting down in the pit. It's just...
Alright. I will climb up and offer Darren a hand.
Saints burning, are you okay?
Wait, what happened over there?
Some kind of trap. I'm a bit bruised, but...
My leg!
Oh god, he's a big baby. Come on! Let her rope down.
You have a bruised tailbone.
I climb out.
Does the portcullis open at least?
No.
No.
Wow.
Fantastic.
That was fucking useless.
Wow.
Yeah, let's have a look around, see if we can find anything else to open the portcullis.
Dawn just stares very confusedly at the trapdoor and goes, "But if you can climb out of it, why?"
I don't... It might not have been a trap. Maybe it was just
A wine cellar or something.
Yeah.
What? A little induction prank.
Is the lever, like, specifically in a place where if you pull it, you will fall into it? Because if so, then it's clearly a trap.
Yeah.
It's a fucking hazing ritual for the newbies.
It's pretty funny. I love it.
Can I try to just lift the portcullis? Have you tried that so far?
You can try. Do me a strength check.
Uh-huh. My strength is kind of garbage, but, oh.
I think everybody's strength is kind of garbage.
Yeah.
Declan may have strength.
My strength is 10, which is the lowest possible for a half-orc.
It's a 7, so...
Yeah, it's a 7.
What exactly does the portcullis look like? Is it like a castle thing with, like, holes in it, or can you...
Yeah, it's an iron...
It's a lattice.
Yeah, like large iron bars
Okay.
lit up on top of each other. So yeah, you grab an iron bar and you try to push it up, and you keep pushing, and you pulled something. Your back cracks, and you just.
Can everyone just stand back for a second?
Okay.
Should we go around the corner?
Just stand behind me.
Alright. I'm going to give you resistance again.
Dawn sort of tugs on Declan's arm and just goes back around the corner just in case.
Yep.
I crack my knuckles, and I would like to cast Acid Splash on the iron bars.
Okay.
Well, I was going to suggest we all work together to try and lift it, but
This is more fun, though.
Yeah, okay, you do that.
Does the portcullis succeed on its dexterity saving throw?
No, it doesn't. You hit it.
It just hinges back out the way, going la la.
Then it takes 1d6 acid damage.
Okay, roll damage.
I roll damage. That's a 4.
That's a 4. So the thing about it is, it's iron bars. There isn't a lot of surface to actually hit, so you do manage to hit a place where the 2 bars crossed, and that's where...
I mean, I don't just, like, splash it on the whole thing. I do want to aim it on, like, specific bars so that I can, like, create a hole big enough to maybe walk through.
I know, you do that. You hit a specific place on the bars.
I'm not, like, being careless about it.
Yeah, I know you're not being careless about it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There is a bit of sizzle to it, and a weird smell comes from it, but, not a lot seems to happen, actually.
Well, that was my best idea. Does anyone have any others?
Is it okay?
Dawn pokes his head around the corner. Is it safe?
It is perfectly safe.
I mean, if you don't touch the acid part of it, it's gonna be fine.
Just don't touch, like, these 2 bars in the middle here.
Cheche, you said there was stoneworking tools in the boxes. Is there, like, any long, solid bars we can use as levers?
Do you go look for the things again?
Well, I've already looked through them, so I'm wondering, do I remember seeing...
You know, I'm gonna have you roll an investigation check.
Investigation. That would be a no.
How much?
Well, I rolled a 1.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you got too distracted by the soft white robes.
Ooh, velour.
Like, you're not sure what the fabric is, because you don't... This is old shit. You don't really make fabric like this anymore.
I mean, to be fair, Dawn, if that's the case, Dawn would definitely take one of the robes.
You might want to get it dyed at some point.
Yeah, it's like really soft and...
Does it feel good?
No, it feels really nice.
Oh, hell yes, Dawn is all over that.
Maybe Kasny should get one for Vex.
Maybe.
He might be interested in it.
Dawn will just take one of the boxes.
Mm-hmm. It's a big box.
Like, not now, but leave it at the base of the stairs so he remembers when he's going back up.
This is a giant box. You know, it's like...
How many are there in there?
Oh, it's piles of them.
Okay, fine. I will say I take 5.
It's like half-meter by half-meter box, you know?
And Kasny's also next to you, so he's probably going to take 1 or 2.
Well, Cassie, I tell you what, grab one end.
I don't know. What I'm saying is I don't think you can't carry it. Like, you can carry maybe one, but you won't, like, it will take both your...
Yeah, we were talking about individual robes, though, I think.
Oh, individual robes?
I mean, Dawn was saying chuck it all into one box and just take a box.
Yeah.
But if I didn't appreciate the box were that big...
You can carry several robes. They might get dirty on the way, but you can. Like, you can take a box, but it's gonna be very awkward carrying it. That's all I'm saying.
Declan.
Hmm?
Declan, don't you think these robes would do you quite well, I think? They're understated. The fabric is nice.
Are they understated?
I mean, they are. They're just robes, aren't they? They're not fancy.
Yeah, they're just basic white robes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take one then.
Kasny stuffs 2 robes in his bag, and if we can take the rest out, we will. But no, I do think, Declan, that you might want to get 1 or 2 of these. It would be nice for you to have a spare robe or 2, you know, if that one gets damaged. And this fabric seems much more comfortable than one you're wearing now.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
And I mean, if you find the bright whiteness of the colour a bit much, you can always try dyeing it.
I mean, that's what I was going to plan to do.
Well, yes, but you were probably planning to dye it brightly coloured. I expect that Declan would prefer a more subtle, natural colour. A nice, comfortable brown, or maybe an understated green.
Sure.
Something naturey. I glance at Declan up and down. Don't you think that sort of style suits her? I mean, some people, a nice bright colour and bold accessories are the right way to go, but some people, subtle and understated, simple lines and natural colours.
I mean, green robe with slightly green skin would be a bit of a...
That's true, you'd look kind of naked.
Yeah.
Perhaps, yes, a nice sort of brown or maybe even just an off-white. Sorry, I've gone into a fashion thing. Let's ignore this. Yes.
Yes, you have.
But I've taken a robe for me and a robe for Vex.
A robe for Vex.
Dawn will take as many robes as he can comfortably fit.
We can always try carrying the box out later, but I just wanted to have a couple in case we didn't get around to it.
Yes, a speedy exit is sometimes needed.
Exactly. Right.
Dawn goes over to examine the portcullis.
Yeah.
Is there any way seemingly of opening it other than the lever?
The winch, you mean?
Yeah, the winch.
Well, the winch doesn't seem to do anything, unless we need to do something else as well.
Cassie, roll me investigation as well, because you've been rolling through the boxes as well.
16, plus I think that's nothing, because my investigation, yep. There, okay, so 16.
16. Yeah, as you're looking through the robes, trying to find a good one, a nice one, you move a box away and you find a lever behind the box in the corner.
I cautiously pull it, but I cautiously pull it. But before I do that, I say, there seems to be a lever here that might be the one we need, and I pull it.
Okay, you pull it. You pull it and the portcullis raises.
Ah, there we are, yes.
It only raises half of the way because the acid splash loosened it a bit and warped it a bit and it can't make it up into the opening.
Kasny looks at it, sighs loudly and ducks under it.
I was trying to help.
Dawn puts something under it so it doesn't close behind us and then follows.
Yeah, you put like a box in there. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And as you all squeeze under the door into the next room, that's where we're gonna pick up next time. Dice Out Now Game is a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. Our intro and outro music is Bells by Fake Cats Project. If you want to get in touch with us, you can find us at Dice Out Now Game on Twitter, where you will also find links to our personal accounts. If you can, please rate and review our podcast, and tell your friends about us. Now, game!